Basketball fans, you won't believe what just went down in the Indiana Fever game. Flushed face in a moment that had the entire arena gasping, Caitlin Clark found herself in the middle of absolute chaos, holding back her own head coach and Aliyah Boston from a heated confrontation with the referees. It was intense, emotional, and left everyone wondering, what in the world sparked this wild scene? From the questionable calls to the sideline tension and the reactions that exploded across social media within minutes, this is the kind of moment that changes how a season is remembered. Stick with me as we break it all down. Every play, every word, every reaction. And trust me, by the end, you're going to have a whole new perspective on Caitlin Clark's role as a leader and peacemaker. Let's get into it. Fire! This was supposed to be just another hard-fought regular season WNBA matchup, Indiana Fever against one of their fiercest rivals. The Fever had been gaining momentum lately, with Caitlin Clark leading the charge and Aliyah Boston dominating the paint. The atmosphere inside the arena was electric from the start. From the opening tip, the officials set a physical tone, letting both teams play aggressively. But as the first quarter rolled on, it became clear that some calls, and no calls, were raising eyebrows. The Fever's bench, including head coach Stephanie White, was already showing signs of frustration. Midway through the second quarter, Boston went up strong for a rebound, only to get hammered in midair. No whistle. The Fever bench erupted, coaches up on their feet, teammates throwing up their hands, and Boston looking directly at the ref with disbelief. Caitlin Clark, meanwhile, was locked in. She sank a deep three on the very next possession, but you could see her glance toward the official with a look that said, "We saw that, and we're not forgetting." Fans inside the arena started to sense something was brewing. You could hear boos after certain calls, and cheers any time the Fever forced a turnover or drew a foul themselves. This wasn't just basketball anymore. It was turning into a mental and emotional battle. Late in the third quarter, the moment that set everything off happened. Boston went for a putback layup and got tangled up with the opposing center. The ball bounced off the rim, but instead of a shooting foul, the whistle blew for an offensive foul on Boston. The Fever bench exploded. Head coach Stephanie White jumped out of her chair, shouting in the referee's direction. Boston immediately threw her hands up, walking toward the official with visible frustration. That's when Caitlin Clark stepped in. Without hesitation, she rushed over, one arm out to gently push Boston back, the other reaching toward Coach White to calm her down. Her expression said it all. "Not like this. Let's finish the game." Security staff on the sidelines even took a step forward, just in case things got more heated. The refs issued a quick warning to the Fever bench, and you could see Boston trying to keep her composure as Clark kept speaking to her, calm, direct, and clearly trying to avoid a technical foul that could swing the game further. Fans sitting courtside captured the whole thing on their phones, and within minutes, clips of Caitlin Clark holding back Boston and the coach were going viral online. On Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. It didn't matter. Everyone had a take. Some praised Clark's leadership and maturity, especially for a rookie, while others felt the officiating had completely lost control of the game and forced players into these emotional situations. Hashtag Caitlin Clark, hashtag Aliyah Boston, and Fever versus refs started trending almost instantly. Analysts on sports shows debated the incident, with some calling it a perfect example of leadership under pressure, and others saying, this is proof the WNBA needs more consistent officiating. Fans from both sides weighed in. Fever supporters were furious at what they saw as blatant missed calls. Opposing fans defended the refs, arguing Boston had initiated contact on that key play. After the final buzzer, all eyes were on the post-game interviews. Boston kept it short, saying, "We play with passion. Sometimes emotions run high, but we've got to move on." Coach White, still visibly frustrated, avoided direct criticism of the refs but made it clear she didn't agree with the way the game was called. And Caitlin Clark? She played it cool. She acknowledged the moment, saying, "We're competitive. We want to win. My job is to keep our group focused. We can't let emotions cost us games." That statement alone drew huge praise online. Moments like this can go one of two ways. They can either fracture a team's focus or bring them closer together. In this case, it seems like the Fever are using it as fuel. Sources close to the team say players were rallying around each other in the locker room, determined to not let bad calls dictate the outcome of their season. Caitlin Clark's leadership here can't be overstated. She's not just scoring points, she's protecting her teammates, managing the emotional temperature, and making sure the Fever's playoff push stays on track. Whether you think the refs were wrong or right, there's no denying this moment will be remembered. The image of Clark holding back her coach and Boston will live on, not as a sign of weakness, but as proof that even in the most heated moments, leadership matters. For the Fever, it's another reminder that the WNBA isn't just about talent. It's about composure, resilience, and how you handle the storms that come your way. So, what do you think? Were the refs completely out of line, or did the Fever overreact? Was Caitlin Clark's response the right move, or would you have liked to see her let her teammates speak their mind? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you. And if you love this kind of deep dive into the biggest WNBA moments, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the drama, the highlights, and the untold stories from the hardwood.